What perfectly innocent search turned out to be porn? Wasteland was a popular airsoft gear website in Norway back in my young days, and you would write wasteland. No, wasteland.com is something completely different. And I would often write com out of habit on my mother's laptop. Lol. Spoiler for the curious, it's BDSM. When I was younger and too dumb to remember to bookmark sites, I would just go to them by searching them or typing the domain name in the address bar. One time, I tried going to GameFAQs, and missed a letter. Which was how I learned that GameFAQs was a porn site. Before search engines, it was a thing for porn sites, betting and scam sites to buy domains for misspelled and similar names to popular websites. Not a fully innocent search, but back in about 2004 my colleague was trying to convince me that Snoop Dogg did a porn film. This was before Google really censored and filtered searches, and when he googled Snoop Doggy dog porn '.. well, Google focused on the dog porn aspect of the search. A co-worker was trying to describe this dog she saw to my dad. She googled big black fucking dog on the work computer. Yeer. He did produce one, he does not act in it. Blueberry cream pie. I was like 35 before I knew cream pie had dirty connotations. There's an outdoor retailers in the UK called Blacks. So I typed Blacks and hit Ctrl+Enter. Thankfully, www.blacks.com now has a redirect, but it did not 15 years ago. It also did not provide the hiking boots I was looking for, and nor was it a site you wanted to open in full view in a university computer lab. Blacks Photography is also the name of the biggest photo processing company in Canada. I sent my mother to blacks.com to get some photos developed. Oops. And in the States, there's Dick's Sporting Goods. I teach ESL, and when a student asks me what X word means, I sometimes use Google Images to show them, as opposed to just looking up the word. It helps them remember. I got asked what the word string meant by a class of 5th grade boys, and it seemed like an innocent enough word. The image result showed girls in string bikinis. It wasn't porn, but it was a bit racy for kids that aged and at that time of day and in that setting. I don't use Google Images for kids anymore. In Spanish, the word for dental floss can also be used as a slang for string bikini. I had the same experience as you did searching for dental floss and how to use it. Ha. This made me think of something that has probably happened to anyone learning the C programming language. I made the mistake of looking up C strings, and instead of programming help you find the world's least comfortable looking clip-on bikini bottoms. Not really porn, but you'll look like the creepy person in the library leering at scantily clad ladies. Blonde cowgirl. I was looking for character art for a Western TTRPG. I face-palmed pretty hard. Based on your username, you weren't too upset. Showing my age, but White House. Com used to be porn. Found out when I was in Catholic school on the one computer in the library that had internet. I got in so much trouble at first, then everyone was really nice to me because they saw the simple mistake. It was a whirlwind of emotions. Like the school called my parents to tell them I got in trouble for looking at porn. This was before people generally had cell phones. So my dad was called at work, left work, but was pissed. Drove 40 minutes fucking pissed at me. In the meantime they figured out it was an honest accident. I still remember the daggers my dad was staring at me when he walked in. The principal pulled him aside and told him the situation. Best part was apparently to check to see if I was telling the truth or not. The principal and librarian took a blanket, and made like a privacy fort over the computer. Both of them got under it and essentially looked at porn to confirm I was innocent. Oh, a girl in my class did this, in college. She was, of course, so shocked she called the entire class's attention to it. Lol. I love the image of these two grown adults making a blanket fort to look at porn just to check if they were telling the truth. When my family first got the internet like 20 years ago now, I remember we were just having fun looking stuff up, and my little brother wanted to look up his Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toys and see what other ones they had. That seemed pretty simple to me, so I figured we'll just look up the company that made them and go from there. The company that made them was called Playmates. When we first got the internet, my brother literally looked up stuff on a search engine and it was all porn. I think everything was porn back in the mid-90s. NGL, those Mutant Ninja Turtles look sick. I don't blame you for trying to find more. Searched Google images for pterodactyl, scrolled down and was visually assaulted by a picture of a naked woman getting railed by a pterodactyl. Can anyone actually get off on that instead of laughing their heads off? There's a full video. If memory serves correct, there were 3 pterodactyls and 1 chick. School project when I was younger, had to do a PowerPoint on the seasons, so I typed in hot to Google images. I learnt a lot that day. Little Billy didn't want to work on seasons anymore. Whitehouse.com got me in trouble in middle school whilst researching the president's cat's name for a school project in the computer lab at school, with sound on lol. Whitehouse.com kid here, too. School library. Very unfortunate. I remember accidentally discovering that website too. Thankfully I made that mistake in the privacy of my own room. Unfortunately, I do remember one class period where a girl was asked to look something up on the teacher's computer while the teacher was doing something else, and she accidentally went to whitehouse.com. She was so embarrassed that she cried. Didn't get in trouble, the teacher basically just sighed and went to correct site. Back in the late 90s, I was giving a talk on the internet and dial-up tech to a few hundred people, and as a demo wanted to show Whitehouse. Gov, but by habit of typing com after everything, went to the com site, which ended up on a huge screen while I was facing the crowd, talking, waiting for the site to load on dial-up. Oh no. Another person had this exact same incident when typing up the same website in primary school while looking for the pet of a president or something like that. Thankfully you can recover in this situation and use it as a lesson about some risks and to always check where you're going before you hit enter. Back in the day when I used Hotmail, I accidentally typed Hotmail, nearly had a heart attack because I was 14 and on a public computer in the library. Back in the day when I used Hotmail, this makes me feel old because I still use Hotmail. Edit, didn't expect to come back 3 hours later to see 50 replies with a variation of me too. And 1550 Carmen on a throwaway comment. A friend of mine, in the Netherlands, was getting married and it was my task to help her design the invitation cards. It was a football-themed wedding, she even wore football socks and shoes under her dress. Anyway, she told me to put her email address on the card and it had Hotmail as its domain name. I told her she was indeed marrying a Hotmail. And she burst into laughter like a little kid, even though she was, and still is, twice my age. Someone so alert to innuendos missed such a blindingly obvious gag. We worked together for a while, and one of our and I always made horrible dad jokes, before either of us dadded. He has since. I don't intend to, and she overheard and said, "Guys. It is Monday morning. Could you leave that badgycock until at least the lunch on Thursday?" Virgin, was booking a flight. 2 hours later I still hadn't booked a flight. Socks. This was in the good old days before Microsoft fixed that Bing algorithm that was really good at finding porn. Edit, I mean the good old days of Bing porn, yawn. Not the good old days of search engines. Back in the day things were mad. Bing algorithm that was really good at finding porn. Why didn't I know about this before? Somewhere between age 12 and 14. Searched up 30com because the new 30 movie starring Vin Diesel was coming out. To find websites back then it was pretty normal just to type in, name of the thing, com instead of using a search engine. Ended up overloading my parents' computer with porn viruses and they had to take it in to get it wiped and reset. I made this mistake with whitehouse.com. That is exactly how I introduced myself to porn. Not really porn, but searching pong on YouTube sent me a bunch of vids of Asian chick showing her crotch all day. Opens YouTube. Wow. That really is a thing. That's actually mad, amused. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.